Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Srinvada Swakada Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanam Hridyandasto Bhadrani Vidunodishu Vatsadam Nashta Prayeshu Patreshu Nityam Bhagavata Seveya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. Hare Krishna. Today I'm going to read Srimad Bhagavatam, Chapter 4, Canto 4, Chapter 12, Text 33 and 34. 33. Idi Vyavasidam Tasya Vyavasaya Surotamo Darshayam Asadaurdevim Puro Yanena Gachadim. Idi thus Vyavasidam, contemplation, Tasya of Dhruva, Vyavasaya, understanding, Sura Uttamo, the two chief associates, Darshayam, as thou showed to him, Devim, exalted, Suniti, Puraha, before, Yanena, by airplane, Gachadim, going forward. Translation and purport by Sri A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The great associates of Vaikuntha Loka, Nanda and Sunanda, could understand the mind of Dhruva Maharaja, and thus they showed him that his mother Suniti was going forward in another plane. But the incident proves that the Shiksha or Diksha Guru, who has a disciple who strongly executes devotional service like Dhruva Maharaja, can be carried by the disciple even though the instructor is not as advanced. Although Suniti was an instructor to Dhruva Maharaja, she could not go to the forest because she was a woman, nor could she execute austerities and penances as Dhruva Maharaja did. Still, Dhruva Maharaja was able to take his mother with him. Similarly, Prahlad Maharaja also delivered his atheistic father Hiranyakashipu. The conclusion is that a disciple or an offspring who is a very strong devotee can carry with him to Vaikuntha Loka either his father, mother, or Shiksha or Diksha Guru. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to say, if I could perfectly deliver even one soul back home, back to Godhead, I would think my mission in propagating Krishna consciousness to be successful. The Krishna consciousness movement is spreading now all over the world. And sometimes I think that even though I am crippled in many ways, if one of my disciples become as strong as Dhruva Maharaj, then he will be able to carry me with him to Vaikuntha Loka. Text 34. Tatra tatra prasamsadvihi padi vaimanikaisuraha avakiryamanyo tadrishe kusumai kramasograhan. Tatra tatra, here and there, Prashamsadbhihi, by persons engaged in the praise of Dhruva Maharaj. Pati, on the path. Vaimanika, carried by different types of airplanes. Sureha, by the demigods. Avakiryamanaha, being covered. Tadrishe, could see. Kusumaiha, by flowers. Kramasaha, one after another. Grahan, all the planets of the solar system. Translation. While Dhruva Maharaj was passing through space, he gradually saw all the planets of the solar system. And on the path, he saw all the demigods in their airplanes, showering flowers upon him like rain. Purport. There is a Vedic version, Yasmin Vijnade Sarvam Eva Vijnadam Bhavati, which means that by knowing the Supreme Personality of Godhead, everything becomes known to the devotee. Similarly, by going to the planet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one can know all the other planetary systems on the path to Vaikuntha. We should remember that though Maharaj's body was different from our bodies, While boarding the Vaikuntha airplane, his body changed to a complete spiritual golden hue. No one can surpass the higher planets in a material body. But when one gets a spiritual body, he can travel not only to the higher planetary system of this material world, but even to the still higher planetary system known as Vaikuntha Loka. It is well known that Narada Muni travels everywhere, both in the spiritual and material worlds. It should be noted also that while Suniti was going to Vaikuntha Loka, she also changed her body into spiritual form. Like Suniti, every mother should train her child to become a devotee like Dhruva Maharaj. Suniti instructed her son, even at the age of 5 years, to be unattached to worldly affairs and to go to the forest to search out the Supreme Lord. She never desired that her son remain at home comfortably without ever undertaking austerities and penances to achieve the favor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Every mother, like Suniti, must take care of her son and train him to become a brahmachari from the age of 5 years and to undergo austerities and penances for spiritual realization. The benefit will be that if her son becomes a strong devotee like Dhruva, certainly not only will he be transferred back home, back to Godhead, but she will also be transferred with him to the spiritual world. Even though she may be unable to undergo austerities and penances in executing devotional service. Hare Krishna. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. I would like to seek blessings from all the assembled devotees. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to purify myself. Please forgive me for any shortcomings or adding my own interpretation. So, in order to prepare this class, I took notes from Burjan Prabhu's book as well as from Radhanath Swami Maharaj's class. The context of the story is Dhruva Maharaj appointed one of his sons as the king and got approval of his ministers, Brahmins, and the general people in his kingdom to go to Badrikashramam. He walked barefoot through Haridwar, through Rishikesh, and finally he reached Badrikashramam. He lived among the great sages and chanted the holy name of the Lord, performed the same austerities his Guru Maharaj, Guru Narad Muni taught him long before. He never stopped it while he was a king or after he retired. His sadhana continued. Sometimes passed, and it is a time to go back to the spiritual world of Vaikuntha. The Lord was waiting for him. Then a beautiful airship descended to Badrikashramam. Two of Lord Vishnu's intimate associates, Nanda and Sunanda, they were in the airship. They have the same beautiful features as Lord Vishnu. When they descended, they told Dhruva that it is your time to go back to Godhead. Immediately, Dhruva took his bath in the Alakananda river and he dressed himself very nicely to present before God. But before he boarded the airship, he performed all his spiritual practices for that day for the pleasure of Lord Krishna. He did his spiritual practices, meditation, chanting, and went to each and every sages and rishis who were in Badrikashram at that time. For Dhruva, the Vaikuntha airship is waiting for him, and none of the rishis were qualified to go to the Vaikuntha. The rishis and sages were doing the same austerities as Dhruva. Dhruva can be a little proud, but Dhruva was humble. Humility is one of the quality of a pure devotee. He went to every sage stages and took their blessings, and the sages showered blessing on him. Then he bowed down to the airship and circumambulated several times. Then he bowed down to Nanda and Sunanda and honored them. As he was about to enter the airship, Death personified appeared before Dhruva. Dhruva has no fear. He has realized his eternal soul. Bhagavad Gita chapter 2 verse 20 Krishna says, Na jayate mriyate va kadachin nayam bhutva bhavidavana bhuyaha ajo nityaha shashvadoyam purano nahanyade hanyamane sharire. For the soul, there is no death. It does not die when the body dies. Dhruva's body completely becomes spiritualized. Death personified bowed down to Dhruva, and Dhruva put his foot on the head of the death personified, and now he is on the beautiful airship. In verse 33, Dhruva was thinking about his mother Suniti. Dhruva had a feeling of obligation to his mother Suniti. It was Suniti who had given him the clue which had now enabled him to be personally carried to the Vaikuntha planet by the associates of Lord Vishnu. He wanted to take her with him. In his purport to text 33, Srila Prabhupada speaks further about the relationship between guru and disciple and humbly comments on the power of a pure disciple. Dhruva Maharaj's mother, Suniti, was the first who gave him instruction on how to achieve the favor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Suniti is his Shiksha Guru. It is with her instruction Dhruva Maharaj met his Diksha Guru, Narad Muni. Dhruva never forget that she helped him when he was a tiny little boy. She inspired him to find Krishna in his life. Nanda and Sunanda understood Dhruva Maharaj's desire and told him that there is another airship identical to Dhruva was going to the Vaikuntha planet with his mother on it. Suniti's body also changed to spiritual form. This is the gratitude and well-wishing sentiment of those who knows God. Srila Prabhupada writes in this regard about his Guru Maharaj, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Bhaktivinoda Thakur prayed to Lord Krishna to send one person who can help him in the mission of spreading love of God. Krishna responded and sent his son Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur prayed, if I could perfectly deliver even one soul back home, back to Godhead, I would think my mission in propagating Krishna consciousness to be successful. Radhanath Swami Maharaj talks a story about Ramanujacharya. Ramanujacharya's most favorite disciple was Qureshi. He was a great devotee. When Qureshi was old and on his deathbed, the devotees wanted to make him feel better because they loved him so much. But Qureshi prayed to Lord Krishna, "Oh Lord Ranganath, please let me leave this world and bless me with whoever is close to me should go to the Vaikuntha." When the devotees heard the prayer, they were devastated. They were then told Ramanujacharya about it. And Ramanujacharya began to dance in ecstasy. Devotees asked him, "Why are you so happy?" Ramanujacharya replied, "Don't you understand the prayer? Anyone is close to him will be going to Vaikuntha, and I am the Guru, so I must be dear to him. Also, that means I can get the chance to go to Vaikuntha." This is the way Vaishnavas thinks. By the power of Dhruva's love, Suniti went back home, back to Godhead. Prabhupada also says similar things. Prabhupada writes, I will get a chance to go to the spiritual world because of my devotees. That's what he mentioned in the purport. At the end of the purport, Prabhupada mentioned that every mother should be like Suniti. They should start training their children at the age of 5 for spiritual realization. In Florida, Alachua Temple, they have Gurukula for kids. The training to become a pure Vaishnava starts at a very young age. The benefit is that if the son becomes a strong devotee like Dhruva, it not only transfers him back home, but it will also transfer the mother, father, or the family members back to the spiritual world if they are unable to do the austerities and penances in executing the devotional service. I would like to end here. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिद्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो